Hey guys, what's up? Somebody give me a 5 for 5. Hey, Mark Pires, hey, Pamela, what's happening, guys? Kiwi, what's up? George, Barbara, Bob. See, what was that? Acrid Fusion. Huh, interesting name. Interesting. Okay, cool. I am going to go ahead and get into it, guys. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time tonight because I didn't realize it's at a really, really weird time for me to be live streaming. And also, guys, I do want to apologize. Yesterday or my last stream, I was kind of squirreling a lot, um, and I do realize that's a problem for me. I get that, guys. I don't try to do it, but I do it. I know I do it. Hey, Miss V, just like that. See, just saying. But I do want to come on here, and I don't want to not like. Yeah, I want to get to the information, but I do value the relationships that I've built here, and that's kind of why I do it. You know, it is a little bit different of a format on how I deliver my show. You know, and to each his own. And I get it if you guys don't. You know, so certain people just want the information. I honestly get that, and I apologize. I do try to get to that at the beginning, and sometimes I don't succeed. And I want to say thank you to all the new viewers also. Guys, we got to support our own communities, right? You know, because we're not always going to get pushed out there by the big red button out there, right? I got to say, first and foremost, you know, thanks to Marfugel, Adam and Dex. You know, guys, I've gained almost 1,000 subs just for them putting me on their friends list on the website. You guys go over to Marfugel News. .com. Matter of fact, we'll do that here in a few minutes at the end of the stream, and I'll show it to you. Okay, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, like I said, on this, but I want to say thank you to them especially, and not only has it helped my subscriber count, it's helped everybody's subscriber count that's on that list. And I would be remiss not to sit here and tell you guys, listen, you know, just because they're bigger than me doesn't mean that I can't return that favor, because I can, and I'm going to continue to, you know, talk about them and tell them about and tell you guys about them, because there's going to be people here that don't know who Marfugel is, right? And we got to support each other. So that's why I do it. And I do value, guys, I have to say this, I value the relationships I built way more than I value the information I give out. Okay, and I'm sorry if that is, you know, not the format that some people like, but guys, you know, the thing that's most important to me in this world is those relationships. But I understand if you don't, you know, want that. So I am going to try to deliver the stuff right at the beginning. I had a specific comment saying something that, you know, to the effect that, you know, I've been here for 5.5 minutes and I haven't even got to the space weather stuff yet. And you know what? That was the truth. Okay? I can admit that, you know, that is an issue. I have to try to fix that. And, you know, and you guys telling me that stuff is how I fix it. Sometimes I don't realize I'm doing it. Well, thank you, Violet. I appreciate that. And, yeah. You hear from Mark too? Yeah, good. I'm glad to see it fast paced. And I'm trying to give everybody everything, you know. So the best way that I figured out how to do my show is to give you guys the space weather from the beginning, right, all the way through. And then if, you know, if there's stuff that we want to, you know, sit around and talk about and, you know, build those kinds of things, you know, unless something big happens, if somebody has a question during the middle of my stream, I want to try to stick to that, because I think it's, you know, I'm just trying to respect everybody's time. And also, if you watch this on replay, you can go back. So I'm sure I can turn chapters on also. So there'll be chapter breaks if you guys want to skip through. But you know, I like the live stream because I get to build comments. You know, let's see how far we're into this one. Now, let me show you how fast time goes. 5 minutes. See? 5 minutes. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't realize we've been on here 5 minutes and I'm just now getting to the space weather. That is an issue. I need to, you know, try to fix that. You know what I mean? I can still be who I am, Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? I just got to adjust just a little bit, you know, and that's just what I'm trying to say. So to those that are listening to me right now and they're wanting the information, you know, I am going to try to give it at the front of the video. And if I start to fail at that, I need my mods and I need my subscribers in there to say, hey, stooge, wake up, do what you're supposed to, and then, you know, that kind of thing, if you would. Appreciate you. So, anyway, Schumann Resonance. There's not really a whole lot going on, guys. Okay? There's just not. There's not a whole lot of, as far as the resonance spiking around or anything like that. We're not seeing any of that right now. And the reason why you guys see, you know, kind of an uptick here and here, that is mainly the daytime hours. This tool's in Russia, Tomsk, Russia. So when it's facing the sun, that's usually when you see the more intense signatures here. And this is Schumann Resonance, so our bodies need 7.83 hertz. Biologically, that's what they say we need to kind of stay at an ambient normal, I guess, if you want to use that. Thank you, SK. And listen, anything outside of that, it does have effects, but guess what? Sometimes those effects are positive. That's something most people won't tell you. Okay? You can have a positive Schumann resonance that's outside of the 7.83, depending on what you're needing for your specific situation. Okay? And I'm not going to get too much into that, but I just want to point that out. We oftentimes, almost all the time, focus on the negative. And yes, when this thing is all over the place, you know, my grandma used to call it, you know, is the moon full? Because, and I don't like using this word nowadays for obvious reasons. She used to say, hey, the crazies are out, right? And I know being politically correct on a word like that, whatever your opinion is on that, you know, it's your opinion, right? I don't necessarily have a problem with it, you know, if I'm using it in kind of like a fun way there. But anyway, that's what my grandma used to say. But a lot of it, guys, is this. I'm serious. Okay, when the Schumann resonance is kind of off a little bit, and it makes sense because, you know, some of that vibrational frequency can be changed by the position of our moon and the way the light's bouncing off of it, all of that. And so when we see a full moon, you know, the moon's behind us almost, right? Because the light's bouncing off of it, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that reflection. And so that's what my grandma used to say. They pump this stuff into the space station. They put these resonance into the space station. For people that work underground, they do the 783 hertz, because if they don't, and people are in that the hertz level that's off for long periods of time, let me tell you something. People go crazy. For people that, you know, you ever heard the term space sickness? This is exactly what this means. That is space sickness. Yeah, microwave frequencies, you know, harm also. Yes, am I 100% correct? But so we keep an eye on this. But again, this is one tool in one location. We cannot focus just on one tool, and that's what I see across the internet. It's this way everywhere I look, almost, except for a few places. Verte Arbuoto, his channel. Schumann Resonance, he changes his channel name a lot, so I forget what he's calling it right now. But he's one of my mods. That is his channel. He does this, right? So you have to pay attention to, you know, this is a regional reading at best. You know, I just told you guys you could pump this frequency into the space station, into working underground. What's that tell you? You can change your own Schumann resonance in your room that you're sitting in now by simply turning on a YouTube video at a certain hertz level. So how can we take one tool and say it applies to the whole globe? You can't. It's impossible. It doesn't work that way. And it's unfortunate that people think that that's actually, they use this one because this is the most popular one. And I showed this to you because, yes, this is the most popular one. I understand how to read this one the best, right? But I'm also telling you that there's a lot more out there. You could get these detectors yourself. Put them in your backyard if you wanted to. But there's a lot of YouTube videos that just simply put out frequency. And you can choose your frequency. So that's what I'm trying to say. Yep, there he is. Schumann Resonance with Verte. There you go, brother. I was just telling everybody go see you. Okay, so go check out him with his with all the Schumann stuff, because he understands it at a level that I never will. Okay, but go check him out. So, all right, title of my video, a flare watch. Why are we having a flare watch? Well, if you come over here to NOAA, I'm just gonna pull it straight on up here and let you guys see it. Right here, R1, R2, which is an M level flare, R1, R2 radio blackout conditions, 40% chance. Anybody that's here knows that that's pretty elevated. All right, that's an elevated amount, and they're forecasting that for the next 3 days at least. It depends on what the sunspots do from then on out, whether that continues. But also this, R3. Okay, when you hit R3, you're talking X level. That's X flare level flare. All right, that's 10%. Usually this one reads 1% most of the time. Okay, it's saying 10% right now. So we got to be watching this stuff. All right, and yeah. So if you want to look at X-rays, this is what you're doing. This is what you look at for flares. So when the X-rays get into M class range right here, that would be R1 radio blackout level. So when we get a flare, it produces all these X-rays that get here in 8 minutes from the sun. All right, and so when that spikes up, that's what we see. If it gets up here to X level, we're talking R3 radio blackouts. And all these things are they just like severe thunderstorm to tornado warnings, they elevate as you go higher, right? Geomagnetic activity is what we get when we get solar wind streams from coronal holes and CMEs. It's not X-ray, okay? It takes some time for these charged particles to get here. It's not light, it's plasma, okay? It's a charged gas. So it takes it typically between if you want to put an average on it, 2 to 3 days. Usually around 3 is probably the middle. I've seen them get here really, really quick in like a day and a half to 2. And I've seen them get here really, really slow, like 5 days. Okay? That's what that is. But are we having eruptions on the sun? Yes. So let's go over here. Now, I'll show you more in depth here in a minute. This is our sun. And as you can look here, you can see the sunspots. Now, for anybody that's never seen this particular capture, this particular model right there, they're gonna look at that thinking, what the heck? That is nothing. Look at that. Well, let me tell you something. You see this hole right here? Let me zoom in. See if I can zoom in a little bit, just to give you guys a little bit of perspective here. You could probably, from side to side, I'd say 3 on the big end there, maybe 4 Earths would fit in that hole. Did you hear what I just said? 4 of our planets would fit in that hole. From side to side. Right around 3, probably more like 3. Let me just go that way with it. Probably around 3. Regardless, that's a big hole. That's not a hole though. It's a sunspot. Okay? That's how big that sunspot is. It looks like a hole because it's black, and I get that, right? It might not have been the best view to show you to explain that, but just notice that all these other ones here, these would be the size of the Earth. Some of these, okay? So these are substantial, is my point. And we'll go look at some other models here in just a second to give you a better idea of what we're looking at. All right, so if we look at this one, that's a coronal hole. That's not the surface. That is the surface of the sun. Okay, it's not a hole in the sun. The atmosphere of the sun opens up, the corona. Okay, and it exposes the surface. The surface starts spewing out high-speed charged particles, plasma. Okay, there's just a lot of protons and everything else. I'm not going to go into detail exactly what's getting shot out there, but they come here via an interplanetary magnetic field line. We're connected to the sun magnetically with one of those with a bunch of interplanetary magnetic field lines. Okay, they travel on that line because they have a charge, negative and positive, so they stay on that line. That's how they travel. It's a lot like electricity in that aspect. Okay, There's some differences, okay? So please don't get that twisted. I just want to point that out too. But what the heck? Okay, so this hole down here, we actually connected to it. It's kind of closed up, right? I think we're going to get some solar wind from that. Oh, check that out. You see that? I'm glad that happened. That's cool. I'm glad that happened right now, because that's I can show you. I can tell you exactly. You know, if you were over here looking at this and you've never looked at this model before, you would think, oh my God, did the sun just fall apart and go away? What's up, Smitty? It did not. Let me tell you what this is. This is a view from a satellite. It's GOES. GOES 16. It's showing you the 195 angstrom filter. It's a filter that they put on this satellite or on the camera, and it filters out all other light except for the 195 angstrom. So it allows us to look at specific gases on the sun. And they could have assigned this any color they wanted. That color does not represent the 195 angstrom. It just represents the color they chose. That's simple as that. All right, so when you see these things, right, like right here, you know what's happening here? This is an eclipse. Now, not an eclipse like you would think. The Earth is getting in front of the satellite. This satellite is in a really close orbit to the Earth, okay? And it's orbiting our Earth, but it's always looking at the sun. All right? So, every once in a while, you're going to get in a position when it's looking at the sun that the Earth actually blocks it. So that's what that is. Okay? The Earth is actually in between the satellite and the sun as we speak right now. Now the satellite's moving pretty fast. Okay? So it's going to move out of that very, very quickly. You're going to have 4 or 5 images like this, maybe. So if I hit the time lapse here, and it's a time lapse, you're getting a capture what, every how many minutes? I'm trying to see. Looks like about every 1 minute it's giving you, maybe, you can see here. Oh, goodness. Let me pause it, and we'll get it. Let's see here. So that's at 2:56. Okay, every 4 minutes it's giving us a capture. So every 4 minutes you're getting one capture. This is not like 60 frames per second. Okay? You're not going to get that kind of anything when you're talking about any of these space models. Okay? But at the end, what do you see that happens here? I'll show you again. And we'll go ahead and grab it here. But here at the end, okay, now, look, well, watch this. I want you guys to see this. This is kind of important to know. You see how everything looks normal? Watch right here on the edge on this next capture. Watch right here. See that? You see how it started to get just a little dim? Okay, and then the next capture you get this. Okay, so that means that the Earth was moving, or the satellite was moving in that direction, and that's the way it got eclipsed. I want to point that out because people freak out over that. And, you know, if you don't know anything about the models, I get it. I used to do the same thing. And that's why I'm explaining it to you guys. That way you don't have to get freaked out. And don't let anybody else freak you out by telling you it's something that it's not. Okay? These things are very predictable. You can go up here. You see these right here? Look, you see this line right here? Why did that line drop out? No x-rays. It's saying we have no x-rays at all. Why? Well, because the satellite can't see the sun. So it can't see any x-ray. That's the same satellite that this is showing you is collecting the data for this. So that right there tells you. So when you see these dropouts here, and they're happening roughly about the same time every day. Right? Hey guys, give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had my pop with me, and it was across the room, and I was getting ready to have a cough attack. Wow, man. So anyway, sorry about that. And again, guys, so that's what you're seeing when you see that, okay? And, you know, for all the people that have been here for a minute, they already know this, right? So I apologize, but there are new people, so I try to explain that as quick as I can when we run into things like that. That's what I mean by that what we just did right there. That was a productive squirrel for me. I stayed on the topic, but I squirreled off the main thing we're talking about, right? But that's important to know, okay? So if we're scrolling down through here, you're not going to see a whole lot of anything else on these other models right now because nothing's really happening, okay? We look at this when we get hit with X-ray because it shows us where it hits. And it's going to hit on the day side, okay? That's what you're going to see, obviously, because that's the side that's facing the sun, okay? So when you get hit with X-rays from a flare, you're on the day side. Sometimes they do kind of bleed around on the bigger ones, but yeah. So this is the NASA Enlil spiral model. With not NASA, NOAA. My bad. They use the same model on both agencies, and I'll show you the other one here in just a few minutes. But this one shows us 2 days historic data, and then it tries to forecast out 5 days in front of us. I don't trust it 5 days out. Most people don't, because it always changes. It's just like the hurricane coming right now, Hurricane Ian. All them models are going to change. I promise you. They're going to get more and more correct as time, you know, moves forward. But if you go look at the spaghetti string model right now, they're all over the place. Well, go back 2 days and look at them. They're all over the place. They're starting to kind of like condense now, and we'll go over that here in a few minutes. But the models, as time goes on, they typically will start to agree with one another more, because obviously the event is actually getting closer and all that kind of thing. But as you can see this, they're using model stuff here too, guys. So, but this is 93 million miles away. Can you imagine how hard that is to try to model? So that's why it puzzles me when people say, well, you know, this isn't, you know, well, they got that one wrong. Well, you know what? Yeah, they got it wrong. But my gosh. That's why we have different agencies that use the model to input different data they take the same data, but they consider it differently. As far as they'll take like wind speed and they'll consider it a certain level. They'll take density and they'll consider it a certain level. And then the next agency may have those levels may be different from one another. So, yeah. Hey, Bradley, what's up? So as you can see here, this one really isn't showing much. And again, we may not be getting a whole lot right here. Okay? Unless we do get some flares. And we have been seeing the sunspots. And again, we'll go over that here in just a second. Right here. Okay? This is the solar continuum. This gives us color. These are sunspots. This is from SDO satellite. And when you see the colors here, the blues and the yellows the blues and reds are positive, negative. So when these blues and reds start getting close to each other, that's when we start having flaring. Okay? So when they're like intermixing, that means that the sunspot's becoming unstable. So yeah. Koki Bunny, we were actually going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah. We had a flare hit, guys. I can't remember exactly what hurricane it was. I think it was it Ida? I can't remember. But it hit right on top of this hurricane. And the hurricane intensified like rapidly after that. Like 2 different categories up, like she said. Okay? It was, yeah. And it happened twice that year on 2 different hurricanes. I can't remember exactly which ones they are, but that did happen. Now, there is some correlation there. They're all working on that. Maria, is that the name of it? Okay. But there was 2 of them that year, and it's happened before. But there's so many variables when we're talking about hurricanes, guys. Okay, it's hard to pinpoint one thing, but it's also hard to ignore when you see a flare smack it and then it immediately starts to intensify. You almost can't deny that. Maria and Ida, yeah, okay. Thanks, Hurricane Heather. Your name's Hurricane. Okay, you probably know. But yeah. So, anyway, as you're looking at this, you can see that the negatives and positives are getting close to each other. And this is a significant sunspot. They're calling it a coronal. It's a large coronal prominence with a bunch of sunspots there. Okay. And it definitely is. Yeah, we're going to have to watch this. This is why the uptick in their forecasting is because of this one area here. Not to mention these other ones too. Okay. That was on the 22nd. So if we go on here to now, you see what we got now? You see how that grew in just a few days? We got this one kind of rotating off, but we got this one right in front of us. This one over here rotating in. This one's still here, and now we got this mess. Okay? So, again, I don't think this would be the greatest thing for the hurricane. I really don't. I don't like seeing a big flare right now because of that. But, yeah, they're quite big spots. But the other thing is they're actually quiet right now, and they're not really doing a whole lot at present. I look for this to change. You see this red here? It's getting real close to these blues. It's starting to intermix. I mean, things are going to start happening here. Not to mention, this isn't really north-south oriented polarization. You got more of an east-west, but when you start seeing stuff kind of creep above, like north-south direction, that's not normal. Okay, we had a sunspot I don't know a few weeks back that was actually north-south orientation, and that's very, very rare. Now, what we do know about those kinds of sunspots is they do flare often, so we'll keep that in mind. But we did have some eruptions and stuff. But this is why we have the solar flare watch right here. This whole what you're looking at. Okay. I wanted to show that to you. Now, let me back off here a little bit, and I'll start showing you some of these other models, some of the other eruptions that we've had. Let me show you this one. This is Stereo A, and I guess before I show you that, let me show you the CME tracker. Okay, this is the same model that I showed you from NOAA, right? But this is NASA's version of it. I'm showing you this because you see this little like boom right there? That was the CME that popped off the sun. I'm not showing you this for that reason. I'm just showing you, hey, there was a little CME. It's not coming at us. The sun's here. Earth is here. I'm showing you this so you know that this is Stereo A. Okay, Stereo A gives us a very slight side view of our sun. All right, it used to sit out here. Had a lot better view out there. But it's here now. So when I show you this, that's what you're looking at. It's as if you're standing right here. Okay? So that's the satellite perspective. So as I take this, watch what happens. Actually, I'll just hit play. No, I won't. It's not moving fast enough. Okay. Okay, so that's the 16th. And again, when you see that, don't think nothing about that. Okay? It's just light getting flooded, or it's getting high charged particles hitting it. It's out there without the protection of a magnetic field, guys. The Earth has a magnetic field to protect us from all the stuff from the sun and the cosmos. These satellites don't. So they get smacked. All right, here we go. So about back here on the... Oops, what the heck did I do there? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Must have hit a right click or something. Didn't mean to. So about the 22nd, we started seeing some eruptions. Okay? And again, that's going to our right. It looks like it's going to our right, and it did. But again, it isn't always going to the right. Here's another one on the 23rd. Okay? Now watch this. That's on the 23rd also. That's going off the backside. Okay? This is the 24th. Another one. 25th. Another one. Still the 25th. Another one. Okay? So, and up to current. And if you look here, there's another eruption going off the backside. The sun is firing. Okay? It's just not firing right at us. And I've been saying this for weeks now. Like I said, if I move this fast, look at that. So, that's just in a couple days. So, just know that. Now, the coronal holes is what's been giving us the space weather. Okay? Any kind of geomagnetic storming we're going to be getting anytime soon is probably going to be coming from these coronal holes. Unless we get a flare. Okay? Here's that area of the flare. So let me grab this. Okay? And there's not really, you can see a few eruptions, but there's nothing coming at us as far as anything huge. So let me show you SDO. This is SDO. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this one. And this one. And this one. Okay. So, as these models refresh, you can see this is that one sunspot getting ready to crest over. You can tell it's been flaring. This sunspot down here did fire a CME. Okay. But it is definitely not all that strong. That's the one I showed you guys here. That really wasn't a whole lot of anything. At least it looked to not be a whole lot of anything. So here is the 131 angstrom. Right? Let me grab it and we'll take a look. And again, you're not seeing a whole lot. But that could be the calm before the storm. That could be anything. Right? The sun can do what it wants, when it wants, and how it wants to do it. Right? Let me pause this one over here. That could kind of draw your attention over there, I'm sure. But, so this one here is going to show you more of a flaring possibility. Because the 94 angstrom here, it does show like more of a flash and not so much a detailed area. See, right here and right there. Now, this is back on the 24th, right here. See that? These are some of those eruptions I already showed you guys. And right here on the 25th, it looks like we jumped some time, which is okay. Not a biggie. But right there, you can kind of see an eruption at the turn of the day. And again, we just keep an eye on it. Some of these erupt, some of them don't. And when they do, we look, right? Now, this is SOHO. Okay? This is another satellite sits out in front of the Earth, about 1 million miles closer to the sun. Always looking at the sun. And it orbits in front of us around the sun. With us. About 1 million miles closer than what we are. So, if I take this and I back this up, watch what happens. This is the 23rd. Okay, you see that eruption there. There's the other one. There's another one. Remember, this is from our perspective, right? It's from our viewpoint. There's another one. Another one. Okay? And again, that's that last one I showed you guys. That's the one that's showing up here. Okay? And again, I have to emphasize that this is yeah, sorry about that. I was looking at that real quick. Okay. Yeah, that was a couple days ago, and that is not coming at us. Okay? So, there's your eruptions. Now, let me show it to you on a coronagraph that shows a difference image, which means it's black and white. This one here. And this tends to let us see contrast a little bit better. So, again, that's the same satellite I just showed you guys, and you're getting to see that other one in a black and white view. And it's a good way to show you guys why I show the black and white more than I show the other. Because you see more of it. Okay? So let me pause that a little bit. And, yeah. So, and again, those missed us. Now, let's go to 26. We got anything on 26 yet? Nope. So this has got stereo A also, our side view. Right here. Again, that's that same eruption. Now stereo, it cut out. That's at 2 on the 25th, right? And then it jumps 10 hours, 11 hours almost. So that CME actually is completely off the screen almost by the time it starts giving us data again. But again, that missed us. That's missing us. So I just want to state that, right? This is a geoelectric model. It's geoelectric. It's not geomagnetism. It's geoelectric. They use this to try to bridge a gap between forecasting earthquakes and space weather. You can see the USGS stamp is on this thing, right? This is a NOAA model, but they're trying to, figure out exactly how to use the solar weather or the space weather, because we know it affects earthquakes. Can it trigger them? Can it just add to it to the point where it finally does trigger, or what? That's kind of what this is showing you. It's space weather's effect on unnatural electrical components. Wire, transformers, outlets, those kinds of things. You'll notice that the uptick is usually around the bigger populated areas because of why? Well, there's more people that live there. So that means that there's more artificial electrical components in those areas. All right? We have to understand when the energy hits us from the sun and it goes to our core, it can't stay there. You guys, okay? And I know that this is kind of like a physics thing that I'm talking about here, but energy in, something has to come out. Right? So that's what I'm trying to say. If space weather is able to get to the core, which it does, we know this, it's got to come out somewhere. When it does, how it does, that's the biggest question. Is it affecting earthquakes? This is why most people have just pretty much accepted, yes, it does affect earthquakes. Now they're trying to figure out exactly how. So, and there are people out there, other channels, other YouTube channels and stuff that have, they're applying their own theories and stuff, and they're being pretty successful with it. I have no theories whatsoever when it comes to this, okay? I am not the earthquake guy, so that's why I don't, try to say that I am. I do know that we need to, look at different things, but we also need to, look at the stuff that we already have too. We just got to get better. That's all. So don't discount any of it. Don't be so hardcore against what we've been taught, and don't be so hardcore about something that might sound a little out of the ordinary. Okay? Just try to listen to all of it and make up your own mind. You guys are smart. Way smarter than I am. And, I don't try to tell you how to think. I just want to show you what's going on. I have my opinions and things like that. I just choose not to go down that road because I don't want to influence anybody's opinion on how they believe and how they think things are. And, because if I say something, it might turn somebody the wrong direction. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to give my opinion. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about like on big subjects like this. This is a big subject. This is very, very controversial stuff that people fight over all the time. Hey, Mark J. I just want you guys to know that. People fight over this big time. Anybody that doesn't know that, you probably already know that, obviously. But, this is really, I'm talking like to the point of like threats on their life and stuff like that. It gets bad when it comes to these kinds of things. So just know that I'm not going to push you in any direction to believe this or believe that. I will show you what I believe, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say such and such is wrong, or this person over here said this. He's right. You know what I mean? This isn't an echo chamber. I don't have that here, and I never will. Just so you know, I will never have an echo chamber here. I like different opinions because it helps me, it pushes me to look at something different, which can definitely help me learn. And that's why I do this. I want you guys I'm just walking through this thing, this learning process for me, and I'm taking you guys with me. It's kind of what's happening here. And I've built really good relationships, Miss V, Pamela, everybody else, guys. You know, and again, you know, I spread that out to Marfugel. I spread that out to Rip. I spread that out to my partner, Tommy. Right? I got second channel. You know, I show this every show because this is my second channel. I want people to come over here because it helps. It helps people. It's an addiction recovery channel. And we had a really good show tonight. So please come over here and check this out. It's called The Lifeboat. If you're fighting anything, addiction, if you want to learn about addiction, if you have somebody in your life that's fighting it, we're there for you. I promise. We help people. We get people help. We help people understand what's going on in their kids' life and things like that. You know, I'm 11 years sober, never relapsed. You know, I'm on a medication called Suboxone, and it keeps me from withdrawing. And most people, there's a statistic out there, 80% of people that get into rehab will relapse. Within, I think it's within a year of them being clean or sober. I have never relapsed. And it ain't because of me. If you knew my wife, if you knew my kids, if you knew my family, my sister, my mom and my dad, my nephew, guys, let me tell you something. That is why. It's not me. It's my family. So when somebody tells you that you got to get clean for yourself, yeah, you are getting clean for yourself. But getting clean for them is getting clean for myself. Because I know that if I don't do it for them, I lose them. So understand that. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. And this is why I will always mention this channel every video that I do. Because it is me. And I'm sorry if that offends people. And actually, no, I'm not sorry if this offends people. I don't think it does for most people. But I really would love for you guys to come over here and give us a chance. Check it out. Nobody judges you over here. If you're drunk, if you're high, and you come in the chat room, we don't kick you out. We ask you if you need help. So just know that. Okay? So if you're fighting that, if you need it, come over here. You know, Miss V's over there. Pamela's over there. Who else is in here that's over there all the time? Vicky's there. Virginia, I think Virginia's over there sometimes too. Forgive me, guys, if I forget Stacy's over there. I'm just kind of scrolling back there a little bit. 7th, Steve's in here. That's the man right there. That man don't sit on his butt. That guy writes letters to his congressman and everything about all this. Okay? That's what we all need to be doing. I don't do very well in that aspect either. He's a freaking hero in my opinion. But anyway, just saying. So, please come check us out over here. You know, and again, go check out Marf. Go check out Mark Pires Renaissance Man, Ripper, Rip Girl Readiness. Anybody else that has channels here, guys. Go check them out. But spaceweather.com. Go check them out. Also, this is a website that I take you guys to all the time. Please come check and read their stuff. We are going to have a close encounter with Jupiter here on the 26th. Well, that's today, isn't it? Pretty sure it's today. Like right now. It's the closest we're going to be to Jupiter in 59 years. Okay, planetary alignments mean things. So yeah, Tiffany, come check us out, please. It's about living our best life over there. We focus on it, addiction recovery. Guys, fentanyl is so horrible. Sarah, and she put it in the chat today, her sister lost her daughter Friday to a fentanyl overdose. Okay? This is how real it gets. All right? So that's why I have a passion for it. And I don't apologize for that. And I never will. So just understand that, guys. Please understand it. Don't ever think that it can't happen to you or to your family. Because everybody is touched by this. There is no more heroin. Just let me tell you that straight up. It is all fentanyl. You cannot find heroin. Yes, right here. I'll put it right here in the link, right here in the chat. Right there for you, bunny girl. Please come check it out. It's there. Hey, Cheryl, what's up, girl? So just understand that, guys. People, guys, they're lacing marijuana with it now. Our kids are like smoking a joint and dying because they didn't know it was there. It's crazy. It's happening all over the place. I mean, I challenge you guys. This is what I would challenge. Anybody that's listening to me right now, I would challenge you guys to Google Kensington, Pennsylvania. Just do that one time. Okay? And go look at that. There's a channel on YouTube, and I don't usually promote other channels like this because I don't know how they feel about it or whatever. I try to respect them. I usually ask somebody before I say, hey, can I mention you? It's Morals Over Money. He drives down through Kensington, Pennsylvania, almost on the daily. Live streams it. It will blow your mind. We're talking people laid out on the street. Everywhere you look. We're talking handfuls of needles. Everywhere you look. We're talking people bent over at the waist with their head on the ground, standing there for 2 hours, not moving. We're talking people overdosing 4 times in one day and getting woke up with Narcan and being mad because somebody woke them up and they go get high again. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. It's crazy. Anyway, sorry, I get like really, really passionate about that. So, but yes, yeah, Tiffany, yeah, for sure. Jupiter is definitely, yeah, it's not taking fentanyl, I promise you that. Just kidding. But no, yes, it could. Yeah, I mean, Jupiter's coming this close, guys. Planetary alignments mean a whole lot of things. They can affect us big time. Okay. So anyway, here you go. Here's a link to spaceweather.com. Come check it out. It's in my description box every video. And again, yeah. So little quick look at earthquakes, guys. See, we're having an uptick in earthquakes too. We've had these big ones and stuff, and they are related. They're all related to one another. I'm not the earthquake guy. Go check out Ron over to Earthquake Emergency Management Associates. Here is Track the Tropics. If you guys have never been to this website, please come here. I mean, this is what this is. I'm going to copy that, put this in the chat also. This is a website, or it's a YouTube channel, or is it? No, it's a website. Okay. It's a hub of every weather, whatever you want to look at. Look how big this is. I mean, it's got everything you could ever want. That, if you want to look at windy.com, if you want to look at whatever, well, right there's windy.com. Anything about the hurricanes. See all this stuff over here on the left? Watch. See all these? These are links. So we can look at the FSU model. Let's just do that real quick. That's going to want me to enter that stuff in. I'm not going to do that right now. But you can do that. You can enter whatever you want to see, and it'll take you there. And to be honest with you, I don't know that I know how to navigate that. Just I never actually. What's this one? Let's check out this one. See what this one gives us. Okay, that's the yeah. And again, this is just showing you different data. Okay. Or you just come over here to these thumbnails, and they're directly related to these links. Okay. Here's the cone right now. Check that out. I should have taken it somewhere. Well, here's the latest model runs. Check it out. This is what I'm talking about, the spaghetti string models, okay? So if we come over here and we check this out, you know, this is how quick you can get the data. This is why I'm promoting this channel. You know, I don't know these people at all. I just think it's a really good hub to come to. I think they do an awesome job of putting it all in one spot for you. And we all know that if it's easy, that's what we're going to look at, right? That's just what it is. So please come check this out. But check out Matthew Shipley also. That's the last shout out for tonight. I know I shout out so many people. I'm sorry. I've just been blessed with having a lot of good people around me and finding good people that do good things. And that's why. So anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and knock off of here. This is, if you want hurricane information, max velocity. That's a channel I subscribe to. Okay. Actually, let's go to my channel real quick. Okay. What the heck is that? I wonder why that was looking like that. That was kind of crazy looking. Let's go ahead and look at my channel here real quick. And if you come over here, oh, never mind. That's not my channel. This took me back over to the lifeboat channel. Sorry, guys. Let me, I'll switch my account here real quick. Let's go to mine. How about that? I was wondering, man, I know I'm subscribed to more than 47 people. What the heck is going on here? Anyway, that's Matthew Shipley's channel. See what he does here? It's a live stream. And it's awesome graphics. It really is. Go check him out. But I want to show you guys the weather channels that I watch, okay? For like hurricanes, tornadoes, all that stuff. Some of you guys already know who Ryan Hall is, and I'll take you to him in just a second. But I want to show you guys a young kid that's really got his stuff together, okay? That would be Max Velocity. His name is Max. He's actually still going to school. If we go over here to his videos, he just cut his stream off about 53 minutes ago. But guys, come check him out. I mean, he does an awesome job. He's currently in college. I believe he's trying to get a weather degree and all that. Regardless, it doesn't matter to me because this kid knows what he's talking about. Okay, so much so that I'm a member over here on his channel. I don't do that for everybody, just so you know. Well, thanks, Evan. Appreciate you, bud. But just come check him out, guys. You know, he's growing. When I found him, I don't even think he had 2,000 subscribers. And I started showing him to you guys, and I know a lot of you guys went over there. But I'm showing you again because I think it's worth every second of it. Now, a lot of you guys already know who Ryan Hall is. Okay, I came over here to Ryan's channel. He had like 100,000 subs. And this guy he's got a team of storm chasers that go out, and it's all live stream. Okay. This is one of the best put together things I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I'm a member here also, but not only do they take and do the channel here, they got a Discord server that's big and everybody's welcome there, right? That's Ryan Hall's link. If you go there, tell him Wages World sent you. But you get in Discord, you become a member. You don't have to be a member to be on the Discord either, I don't think. I can't remember if that's the case or not. I don't really remember. But constant conversation. Plus, you know what else he does? He takes the money from his merch shop and he puts it towards storm victims. All of it. I mean, like, all of it. Who does that? Who does that? Right? Ain't that awesome? I mean, it's crazy. When they had all this stuff happening in Kentucky, that's where he lived, right? All the floods. I mean, his channel pretty much was just doing like real short updates because he was so busy helping people. That's where his priority is. That's where everybody should be. So I support people like this. Look, he's 611,000 subscribers. This guy here is the future of weather. I promise. That mainstream crap that you see, it's going to be going away. I promise. This right here is where it's going to be. You know, he just redid his setup. This is Ryan right here. And I'm telling you guys, the man knows what he's doing. He used to be a weatherman on TV. Okay? And he's talking about this right now. This, you know, I really could become a category 5. Now that's on the high end of things, obviously. But that's what he's talking about here. If we back that up a little bit, we can come down here to some of his older content. And let's do that for a second, because I'm just going to go here and show you what his other, see if we find one of his, I want to see some of his live streams. Does he have a playlist? Where's, oh, there's his playlist. Okay, yeah. This is live weather coverage. Okay, this is what he does. So if I grab this and I just, you know, he showed you the storm. That's his setup. This is his team of spotters. They're out. There's like five or six of these guys across, you know, they're in different locations. It's awesome stuff. So please come over here and give him some love. You know, I know he's a big channel, but we got to support even when they're big, guys. Okay? The guy knows he got big for a reason. Right? He's down to earth. You know, Ryan Hall, y'all. I mean, he's got that accent and everything. It's awesome. It's awesome stuff. So please come check him out. I mean, he is he's so knowledgeable. It's crazy. And the people that he surrounded himself with is nuts. I mean, it really is. So those two guys, man, weather. I know we're talking about weather because of the hurricanes and stuff. That's why I'm bringing it up. But guys, go check them out and check us out over on Lifeboat. I got to go. So I love all you guys. God bless. And guys, please, again, let me just say this one more time. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for any of the new viewers, anybody else that's coming here and checking us out, especially over on the Lifeboat. I really, truly, honestly appreciate it way more than you could ever know, okay? It gave me new life when I started doing the Lifeboat with Tommy. My content here got better. I promise. It gave me new life. It really did. It gave me a new drive, and it cleared my head, and I'm able to get the stuff out, and I'm passionate about both channels. So anybody new, thank you. I had a video, 2 videos back, guys, almost 30,000 views. I haven't had a video like that in a long time. I don't monetize, for people that don't know that. So getting a 30,000 view video is hard to do because I don't monetize. YouTube doesn't push me out. Okay? So when I get to that kind of a thing, it's because we're all helping each other. Like Mark has helped me and everybody else here. So God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.